Sunday's Satsang is going to be presented by one of our new initiates, Gyani Afrika, and he's going to give us Satsang on love and devotion.
Get a moment of silence, please. Shake them out. I want to say first and foremost, I appreciate all of you Radasis that were able to make it at my Satsang. And I'm not disappointed at the ones who haven't made it here. You know, I'll let the master deal with them on that level. But I want to say I understand that, you know, the inclemency of the weather is brutally cold out there. And, you know, a lot of you all, you know, you've been through a lot just to get up here, so I just appreciate that. I want to say that my satsang is love and devotion, and I want to say I chose such a topic because I believe that that was really a necessity at that time, and that's what I see is what's missing in most of the spiritual paths or the totems that's up on this place of existence, Penda as we would call it. And I want to say first and foremost, I want to give all praises due to my ancestors and my kinfolk who blessed me with my abilities and my tributes. And basically you all as a gift, you know, and I want to say I want to give praises due to the great master Maharaji Charan Singh Ji, in which without him, I really believe in my heart, it wouldn't be a house of Ra, or we wouldn't have a master such as Bhagwan Ra Africa. And I just want to say that what such a beautiful being that made a great sacrifice to contribute to the restoration of humanity and bringing the Dharma here, and as well as that to my master Bhagwan Ra Africa, who blessed us with the gift of initiation in Nam, in which is the greatest gift that we can ever possibly receive in this existence. And I want to say that I thank him also for allowing us to drink from his infinite fountain of wisdom. So I want to say that you know, it's been a long way for me up on the path, in which since I was a young child, I really kind of see things a lot different. Not you know, I can say differently because I always had the capacity to love. So I can say that's like an important vitamin up in this time, because we got to understand up in this Kali Yuga, we are up in the cycle of the burning furnace, the iron furnace, which I would call it. And all this hell and all this suffering and all these great atrocities that we are seeing, it's only necessary that we see the glow. So as I open up my satsang, I chose a passage that I want to read, in which my satsang is on love and devotion, in which I believe that love and devotion go hand in hand like the sun and the moon. It's a reflection of each other. And I can say you won't succeed, as Master Bhagwan informs us, that you won't succeed up on this path unless you have a capacity to love, and you must be devoted in order for the love, because I believe an aspect of love is just being appreciative. And I see the great sacrifices in which Bhagwan makes, in which I can never have words to describe. Since I've been at the House of Ra just a year and a half, all the great sacrifices that I just seen this great being have done for us. And we can never, it's like similar to like a mother's love, we can never duplicate that. But the only thing that we can do is just follow his instruction. And that's what I believe what it means to truly be devoted, because Master Bhagwan informs us that you cannot truly be devoted if you're not disciplined and you can't follow instruction. So, and I also want to say to all the Radasis who are on the run, in which there's not showing the Master no appreciation for the gift that he given us, And that's a big mistake on the path, because for us to miss satsang, for us to miss our cooling meetings, for us to miss our practice, that's a failed opportunity in which we will have to give this ego at least a 1-2 punch, because that's what the master informs us, that the ego prevents us from reaching the goal in which we want to reach on the path. So with no further ado, I chose Kabir Sahib, the great mystic, because Kabir didn't give a damn what somebody thought about it. He just told the truth, and he was very sincere, in which Maharaji says that sincerity is a major virtue on the path. You know, and you must be sincere and stop lying to yourself, and like I say, you know, faking the funk. So as I read this passage titled Devotion to the Master, and starts out by saying, "Behold, I went out into the world to see the way it worships the Supreme Lord. Now I return to say that genuine worship is truly rare. Great is the distance between devotion and its show. Great as between the earth and the sky, the Master's devotee is in tune with the Lord, but the pretender is immersed in the world. Nothing, says Kabir, can unite the two. I tell you, there is no pretense where there is no devotion. No thought, color, caste, or creed. Most thoroughly I searched and I have found the devotion to the name of the Lord. When genuine love is very rare, very, very rare, I tell you further that real devotion comes only through the Master's grace and gift. Most fortunate among all human beings are those who offer devotion with pure love. Remember, my friend, devotion that is imitation, mere physical sitting without real love, can never dye you in spiritual hues. Beware, as the snake sloughs off his worn-out skin, so too the pretender abandons devotion when tossed by worldly troubles. I say frankly, devotion not infused with love is nothing but outright farce and fraud. Such devotees seek worldly gain, but win neither this world nor the next. They simply spend his precious life in vain. A fertile farm is ruined by poisonous reeds, a gathering of the wise by spiteful people, as rare as saffron is spoiled when mixed with dust. So devotion is destroyed by greed. If you seek to practice devotion for the Master, give up all pleasures and desires of this world. Rare is the birth of the human body, says Kabir. Do not waste it pursuing passing pleasures. Devotion for the Master is difficult, like walking on a sword's sharp edge. The first condition is utter sincerity. Upheld most cautiously through trials and troubles and tribulations, devotion for the Master is like walking on the sharp edge of a sword. The hesitant, weak, and spineless fall and are cut to pieces. But those who are determined to go across, so many people I have seen at their devotion praying to gain wealth and honor, such fools hasten to run away when faced with loss and disgrace. Devotion is the ladder to salvation. Saints climb it quickly with no fear, but the slothful and lazy neglect their tasks, then repent and grieve for endless ages. No one attains salvation without devotion. I tell you, millions of other methods are quite useless. Only he reaches home who loves the word, and this happens only through the devotion to the Master. The seeds of the devotion is never wasted. In whatever body it is sown, as gold's great value remains undiminished, even when dropped in dirt and filth. So the purity of the devotee's love remains quite untouched by the filth of the world. Lustful, greedy, and hot-tempered people cannot know real devotion. How could they? Only the hero overcomes these passions. Only the valiant can worship the Lord, abandon pride, caste, color, and creed, and lineage, and do the real work of your life. So narrow is the gateway of devotion that only a tenth of a mustard seed can pass through. How then, pray, can the elephant mind, swollen with ego, pass through this small gate? As a fish loves water, as the greedy loves wealth, as the mother is devoted to her child, so must the devotee steadfastly love the uplifting name of the Lord. All devotion goes without reward. For those who seek its reward, how can you receive the one without desire when you are stuffed with gross desire, says Kabir. O Master, God of gods, grant me your gift of true and real devotion. I seek nothing else than to live in your service all day and night. In which was beautifully said by Kabir, in which I really love him so much, because he was basically like a I wouldn't say like an outlaw, but he was like a rebel of a saint. And such a great sacrifice, I believe it's beyond words that can ever mention that. And I can say for those who really love, you know that you're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. You know, you're going to have to walk through the fire. So as I say, you know, by us being granted the gift of initiation, we are like the firemen at the fire. Is you going to run or you going to go through the fire? We're going to have to go through the fire, y'all. And I want to say I just appreciate Bhagwan for just granting us this opportunity to end our suffering for all times. So to the Cosmic DJ, could you play my first track? I want to say, Master Bhagwan, you're the only reason that I try. And I know you all feel the same way. myself I wasn't gonna get soft today, but just looking at his eyes, man, it just do something to me every time. Even that sad song, man, it just such a precious gift to be in tune with such a great being as Master Bhagwan Ra Africa, who had the transforming power to transform an ordinary lower caste street thug into a disciple, you know, in which I'm not no ways and means perfect, and I know none of us in here is no means and ways of being perfect. Because if you're saying that you're perfect, you actually making a fool of yourself, actually, because, you know, we really in hell down here, and that's the only being that I made contact with that enabled me to want to even want to make a change. And if I could say, I'm not the most devoted disciple, but I'm sincere with myself, and I know in my heart that sinners are the best saints. You know, I notice everybody up on the path in which I dialogue with you all been through some hellish, you know, conditions in this life. And just look where you at now and just appreciate that. And when you have doubt that enter your mind, to quickly dissolve it away, just think about where you were before you made contact with the beloved Master Bhagwan Ra Africa. You know, you just take time to stop and think where your life was at and how much hell that you was catching. Because a lot of people don't know, I was on the way of committing suicide when I was in the Cook County Jail. I was one of the only brothers that snuck a belt up in there. And I was going to hang myself in the bathroom the second night that I was in there. And as I was contemplating doing it, in which I had an opportunity to hook the link up and just take myself out, I really felt guilty at the same time, because I really felt that I wasn't worthy of that, worthy of taking my own life. And I just saw my mother's eyes, and I saw my daughter's eyes, and my queen's eyes, and I just immediately rolled the belt up. And I had that belt on up for my whole entire month up in there. You know what I mean? So we went through a lot of naked searches, and I would have to hide the belt just to keep it away, because if I would have got caught with it, that would have added on more time, and it would have been more suffering. It kept me away from my family and my children a lot longer. So I'm just glad by the grace of the Lord, been the Master itself, because I believe Bhagwan been hitting our switches for a long time. I mean, a long time, and I was just telling him that I wish I could stay with him forever. And he also told me when we talked at Satsang, we had a little slight Dugasan, he told me to share with you all some of the things that really clicked, because he said you can come to thousands of Satsangs, but the only thing that matter is what click, because something that resonates. And all of us individually, you can even read a book and it'll be a passage that just click. And he said that's the only thing that matter. But the first and foremost thing that really clicked is when he told me that he told us all to mind our own business. And that's so true, because black folk, we always in somebody else's business other than our own business. And I got a lot of women in my family, and they always in somebody's business. So, you know, they get pissed off at me when I say, hey, you mind your own business, simple like that. But it's just the whole, you know, the truth. You know, we got to focus on us, and that's the only way that we can really succeed up on it in a journey, because when the chips fall, we only got ourselves to blame. We ain't got nobody for the blame. And by us being Radasis and disciples, we really got to look at that because we've been given the gift. So, and I can say, when you're given the gift, like Master Bhagwan say, you have to take care of that gift. And when you don't take care of that gift, that totally pisses the giver off. So I just don't want to let the master down. I can say, when you love somebody, you just don't want to let them down. That's one thing I can say. I don't want to let nobody that I truly love down. So I want to share with you all something that I wrote in my scrabble with my tablet. And I was holding my daughter up in my hand right after Nam's Day, because I was just so inspired by the smiles and just us getting together. I just loved that. And I really felt the master at this time, he really reaching out to us in a lot a lot of ways, and a lot of us got to just read the signs, and it ain't easy. But he really trying to reach us, and he really just giving us his heart right now. Even during my stay at the retreat, and due to the talks and dialogue that we had, he really touched my heart every time. He told me that he want to enable me to be a man of heart, in which he says very rare, because it's very rare that men out here have a heart. And he said that he really know my path, because I tampered with mysticism and occultism, and I was really miserable, but it shocked the hell out of me that you can really influence things with the powers of your mind. So it scared the hell out of me, because I was doing all type of rituals and blowing rum and all that type of stuff. And Master Bhagwan and such as my beautiful sponsors, Bahanta and Bilal, they really worked with me on a 9-month stretch, and I know it was really tough. And I just want to say I appreciate you all. Big ups, big ups for that, you know what I'm saying, because I'm not an easy person to deal with. But I just want to share with y'all something I wrote right after Nam's Day, and I just want to say, just to be practical in general, we are all spirits. And since we are souls, we belong to the Creator, the Supreme Lord, who is the flame, and the Master is the light. There are no distinctions between the Master and the Supreme Lord. They are one, and it's pure and all good. So one must question, how is it then attained? The Master informs us to be still and purify ourselves and see things as they really are, and to be steadfast in the sadhana of Ma'at. Only then alone can one liberate themselves from ignorance and transmigration and darkness. We must keep in mind the Master is the supreme giver, and all we have to do is follow his instruction and cultivate love, devotion, and establish Guru Bhakti and abide in him, and only then shall we be free. And I want to say Guru Sahib also informs us that if one cannot follow instructions, one cannot truly be devoted. And I really want to stress that, because we have a hard time following instructions. And I'm so bad, but I can't even follow instructions up on the macaroni and cheese box. I want to do it my way. So, hopefully if I can really get disciplined enough, and I'm really getting myself well together. And I know we all try to really get ourselves well together, because in this time we really got to get in tune with what the Master really trying to get the message to us. And I know a lot of us is waking up, because I really feel we don't have a lot of time left here. I really feel it. Just the things that I'm seeing in my eyes, and watching the news, I call it what the blues. I just can't take it no more. But I want to say to you all that sometimes in life you really feel like you're alone out here, and you are thinking you are doing it all by yourself. But then quietly you realize you are not. But sometimes I feel like the Master is somehow not seeing me. I don't know why I keep feeling like that, like he's not seeing me. But then quietly I realize the Master is seeing me better than I'm seeing myself. And, that's a realization that I came to, and it really helped me to humble myself. And that's a necessity on the path, too, that we humble ourselves. And that's the only way that we can even begin to follow instruction. So as well as that, I want to share some portions of Sarbash poetry with you all and everything. I promised myself I wasn't going to do too many reading, because a lot of people don't like a lot of reading and stuff, But it's some interesting poems I read in here, and I want to share with you that he says, listen to the tale of love, O loving soul. Serve the Guru with love and devotion, and sacrifice yourself with his darshan again and again. The words of the Guru captivate the disciple's heart, as the sweet babbling of an infant thrills the doting mother. As a man in love adores his sweetheart, a Guru Mukh is enraptured by the form of his Guru. Eating or drinking, sleeping or awake, or going about the business of life, the Guru's form never leaves his mind. He feels the pangs of love as an arrow were constantly piercing his heart. A Guru Mukh who has cultivated such love for the Guru will realize the supreme purpose of life. Until a disciple is inspired by this kind of love for the Guru, he should be considered worldly and self-indulgent, and a mammoth drifts through life belonging to no one. How can he obtain spiritual wealth? Radha proclaims to one and all, hold fast to the Guru's hand now in this very lifetime. And we must really make that decision. As Master Bhagwan said, the choice is ours. It's really up to us. And I want to say, as Guru Sahib informed us, that he is not here to love us, in which his love is already the case, but quite the opposite. We are here to serve and to love and to seek refuge in him and follow his specific instruction. And that cultivates true Guru Bhakti. So we must, as disciples, make up our minds whether to be a Guru Mukh, i.e. a love hater, or a Guru Mukh, a love creator. The Master states the choice is ours. And I want to say, Roger Vera, you play my second track. Get up on that mat, just prepare. Stop getting in the way of ourselves. Man, say, be able to tell this world to kiss my ass. Try to get out of here. Stop getting in the way of ourselves. told me, say, don't you want to be free? I say, hell yeah. Want to be free. Suffer so much down here. Gotta bow to my master. Only way to be free. And I want to say that, what does I give Maharaji divine honors? Because like I say, it wouldn't, I believe in my heart that it wouldn't be a house of Ra at all if it wasn't for the great sacrifice that Maharaji Sharan Singh Ji bestowed in homage to his master, Maharaji Sawan Singh Ji. And even though I never made contact with him or in his physical existence, Maharaji, but just looking at the pictures, you can just see the peace in his eyes. And it really humbles me, you know what I'm saying, when you can just look in somebody's eyes and really see the depths of their soul. And you have known that these saints have attained the rarest form of consciousness in which we all seeking to obtain. And, you know, I just appreciate that we was afforded such great beings in this plane of existence, because like Master Bhagwan say, without them, this place would be a dark ball of mud. And there's only a few beings here that truly do love sincerely, that really, I believe, that keep this planet going. See what I mean? Because, you know, this planet is really up on its way out. And, you know, we have the doorway, and I see Master Bhagwan as being a legba, meaning that he's the doorway. You know, it's either we gonna go in, you know, he cut the lights on, you know what I'm saying, you know, we can see where the door is at, but for some reason, we just want to stay in. And that's one thing that I scratch my head, and it's just no other than the ego, and which is enslaved to the mind, and which what a soul is enslaved to the mind. So we're gonna have to really someday enable them, like he told Bhagwan, told me, don't fight with the mind, because when you fight with it, all it do is just enhance you to wanna fall victim to his traps. And I can say that the mantra, if I can say the Dharma, it been times in my life when the Dharma, just by me reflecting on what the master said, really helped me get out of times of distress in my life. And I really see the Dharma as a life jacket. See what I mean? Because there been times in my life, if I didn't reflect on the Dharma, in which we don't control anything, but the way only thing that we can really control is the way we respond and the way we react to certain events in our life. But it can be just that quick that you can snap and lose it. And every year it's just getting more intense. It's getting more intense. I believe this negative deity, he just really growling at this time. Because it's a battle that he really knows that he gonna lose. Because there's so many of us now just resurrecting consciousness and just want to get out. It's a lot of people waking up. Even I can talk with some of the, what we would call the drunkards in front of where the liquor stores, some of the fiends and stuff, and they kick out a little bit of knowledge. And then they stay intoxicated, been deluded 24 hours a day, but even they waking up. There's something going on now. And there's only a few people that's catching on to it, but like Marvin Gaye said, it was going to be a time that even they going to start waking up. So, you know, we just got to appreciate one of the beings that really came and brought forth what that message in which we in that time now, that, hey, you know, you either make up where your mind, you know, whether you want to go out a fool or you want to go out intelligence. And like Master Bhagwan says that his master informed him that 90% or like 99% 90% of the energies that's pervading all universes and all galaxies is intelligence. And we really got to use intelligence, and as disciples, we got to really be on guard and guard our mental processes against what the traps of our mind, because I find out that my mind works that when I like doing something, I want to keep doing it over and over and over again. And I studied that if you keep doing too much of something here, it's going to take you out. And I lost 2 uncles just by that, drugs and alcoholism, that their mind kept wanting that, and eventually it just took them out. And your mind to just sit there dead while your soul is suffering somewhere else. And I know none of us don't want to go out like that. So I want to share another poem of this Sarbashan poetry with you all, which was inspired by my Aunt Asaba, in which she read it to me, and I stay over her house and we talk for hours. Sometimes she got to kick me out. But she shared this with me, and I just want to read and share with you all. That it says, "Do not be deceived now that you come into this world, dearly beloved. Oh, do not be deceived. Don't look on anyone as your friend. They are all crooks, waiting for you to walk into their traps. When you start to follow the Guru's path in earnest sincerity, they at once take fright and try to block your way. They use sarcasm and abuse to make you waver and lose your resolve. Be on your guard when you deal with them. These so-called well-wishers are your enemies. They care nothing for what helps or hurts you. They stick with you for their selfish ends. You are the beloved of the Guru, so be discreet. Live among them, but keep yourself absorbed in the Guru's feet. This will help them too. While your devotion can grow unhindered, but the resolute opponent of Nam and Guru Bhakti will not soften however hard you try. You should withdraw from such a relationship politely, without bitterness, without blame. A time will come when you will find yourself among people whose company inspires you towards devotion to the Master and Nam." Radha says, "Give all you have to devotion, more devotion, more devotion. Don't give up devotion for any situation, or you would always regret it." And that's beautifully said. And I want to share one more with you all. And it says, "The soul, having separated from the Shabbat, has made friends with the mind and got thoroughly tied down with it. Caught in this worldly snare, it struggles in vain. Having lost its home, and it wanders in desolation. It has not taken the Guru's advice to heart. Instead, it indulges in poison and endless lust for carnal gratifications. It carries a heavy burden of karma on its head and must suffer the punishments inflicted by Yama. Moved by the intense pain and misery it endures, the true Guru calls out, 'Listen to me, O beloved soul. Accept my word and turn your attention inwards, and you will see the light. Drink the priceless nectar of Shabbat. Rise up open the gateway of the sky Trakuti. No one but the Guru can help. Only Radha can put your life in order.'" And that's beautifully said, because the mind is not our friend. And until we realize that the mind has been deceiving us for ages, and like the masters have said, we done had as many lives as a tree have leaves, and it been ego about the ego, and it's carrying that same mind state, and it just watch you die, and then you get to do it all over again until you get it right. So I'm saying, as me, I'm a struggling disciple. I'm trying to get right. And as Brother Radasi say, we must stop struggling. See what I'm saying? I used to be a point in time when I say I fell in love with the struggle. But if you in quicksand, the more you struggle, the more you're going to sink. So we just really need to just break free, in which I can't say I'm quite qualified for to speak on everything that there is that we need to do, because I'm trying to follow Pacific instruction myself. So we really got to make up our minds and just try to do the best that we can, and that's all we can really do. That's all we can really do. You see. So I want to say, as well as anything, I truly do believe that we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our ancestors, we owe it to our kinfolk, and we owe it to the Master that we really get ourselves straight and stop missing our practice, stop missing our cooling meetings, stop missing satsang, because that shows how devoted you are when you miss satsang. And since I've been on the path just a year and a half, everybody can count on seeing my smiling face at satsang. And to follow up on Makula, we really struggling right now, and Sister Vavika, we talking in which our Kula might not be the only one, but I just hope that Guru Sahib don't dissolve it. I would like to be the one to just try to make an attempt to keep it together, because if we don't keep it together, it's gonna fall apart. See what I'm saying? So let's just try to be more devoted and more loving to each other, and that's the only way that we're gonna really see the light, because that's really what we trying to see. And just have, on the topic of love, try to have a lot more patience with these worldly people. Because another thing that clicked with me, that Master Bhagwan say, that we can't do nothing but love when them people up out there, because they don't have no escape about their negative states of mind, whether it's lust, greed, attachment, vanity, or whatever. They don't got no escape. And that clicked with me, because I'm really like the only one in my family that's up on the path. And I can say that I try the best of my abilities to try to get the message across to my family the best way as I can. But, you only can do the best that you can when you're dealing with these people. So if you got people up in your families, a lot of them catching hell, try to have a lot more patience and tolerance with them, because they really don't have a way out. And we've been given, man, the greatest gift of all, and for some reason we just still keep wanting more shit. See what I'm saying? Still keep wanting more stuff. And how much stuff do we need? And we like the richest Africans on the continent, but we still want to go shopping every day, spending money on things that we really don't need. So I then came at a revelation: the only thing that I need to do is follow my Master's instruction, and sit still and purify myself. And that's the only way that I'm going to be able to help someone else. Otherwise, if we don't do that, we're not even qualified for the help nobody else. To quote what the Master said. Because I don't really get the point, and I keep quoting him, because he said it was a time, when gurus bust your head to the white meat, because you weren't qualified for to speak that. Only the Master can speak that. So until we get ourselves right, and we really got to make an ascension, what we really going to do with our lives? And I can say, like he always informs us, that the choice is ours. So as well as anything, I have something I want to share with you all before I end my satsang, because I don't know how much time I got, and I don't want to run Bilal's tape out. But I want to read a poem to you all that was inspired. I wrote it like 2 years ago. That was inspired by my beloved daughter, Maya. And I was just asking her, because I'm a poet too, and I was just asking her, like, man, what type of, because as an artist, you got to get inspiration. And I give one love to the artists up in the world, because they really open and they not closed to, a lot of us is closed in our own ways. And like Master just informed us that, we got to get out of our roles. And that applies well to me too, because I be so serious at times that I don't want to be bothered. You know what I mean? And us as parents, we really got to get straight, because no matter what you are, a businessman, an African American, we really got to get ourselves straight for our children's sake. And it was a brother that I was talking to on a bus, and he had a 40 in his hand, and me and him, he just came on the bus and looked directly at me. And I just started rapping with him, and he even got off the bus early just to talk with me, and we talked in front of my place for like a whole hour. And he said, just make me a promise, brother, just help these young children. And when he said that, it touched my heart, and for me to get straight, because if we don't help our children, like Master Bhagwan said, we got to stop throwing our babies in the water, because the world is just eating them alive. And I deal with a lot of children, and I just try to bring some type of light to their lives, because I really love our children. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them really don't got to weigh their parents. We can't get mad at the children, because they disrespectful, you really got to look at the parents. And they not being loved. You know what I mean? And when you're not being loved, that runs so deep, you really feel that. And that really scars you sometimes for the rest of your life if you're not able to heal yourself. So I just want to share this poem with you all called Good Love, because we all like good love. You know what I mean? It can be some good love making, a good satsang, you know, it's good love, and we love that. So inspired by my daughter Maya, and I want to say, precious and gifted, sweet love, missing so distant, back in time, forever wine, we was one with the sun, so witness. The union of the past made present to the feeling, we collect seeds of sunshine in our fertile ground ceiling. Lady love, we watch your goals, spellbound and speechless, there is no other but the mother that deals the cards to reach us. As good as it feels and sounds, where it came is no mystery, rivers run deep, combine us, unique, made flowers sweet. Power of expression, the way to choose love's destination. Hey, yo, don't fight the feeling, the cosmic inspiration. When it come, allow it to grow, incognito flow, stop wasting, replacing. We reap what we sow. True passion lights our fire, so let it be. Pray that love will find you in your intuitions of senses free. The test of time, in fact, is the labor of above. Can't stand waiting forever. Get ready for the good love. That's the end of my poem. And also want to read just one more with y'all. You know I like to talk. I'm known as man, the talkative disciple. So I just want to come and give y'all an earful. But this is a poem I read at my mother's poetry party. It's called The Last Days. And I truly do believe in this Kali Yuga, or this Iron Age. This is what the last days. And the reason why I kind of know I talk so much, and the master told me to try to work on that, because he say I'm masturbating. You know, he say I ain't making no babies off that, you know. So I kind of like to masturbate talking, you know what I'm saying? You know, he told me to cut it out. Cut that shit out, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He told me the truth, and he got a good laugh off of it. It was last night, he got a good laugh. He told me, you masturbating. I'm like, whoa, what you say? You know, he's like, you masturbating. So he said, you got to stop that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, rather that, I did take his advice rather hard, but soon I left out the room, I got engaged in more conversation. So, you know, I just wish that, you know, the master shower was grace on me, because I just like to talk. I just like the sheer interaction with other beings and stuff like that, because I already know that this body form ain't gonna last for too long. So I just like to talk, you know what I'm saying? Like I told Mother, I'm here to tell it. But I want to say the poem Last Days, as midnight prevails into the skies of darkness, submerged here in battles, wars, trials, and tribulations, marches. Children of the night, struggles nocturnal, corruption, injustice, sirens, the destruction, glows the inferno. Brothers and sisters, put down your beard, snatch up your children. The fruitless devils have a reason that few heartbeats left they fear it. The systems in place, hidden illness revealed, and upheavals worldwide, citywide, up and rising, killing. Look up, the stars romance and spirits dance in salvation. Heavens restored, some enter third door situations. Children of the light prepared to fight, to take flight. Legendary wings of the masses in the mystic scene for the love of the right. As we proceed into the light, advancement to freedom, never mind the noise of me and the boys striking to lead them. Smiles and tears of so many years celestial phase. The visions of all Nubians that came and left saw the last days. And I bear witness to you all in your eyes. Y'all bear witness into the last days. So I can say, try to be more loving, try to be more devoted, because I believe that you have to be, you gotta love to be devoted and devoted to love. And that's the only way that we're going to get up out of our hell. So that's the end of my satsang. And I want to say I just appreciate you all for coming out. And I got a gift for everybody that's here. So, man, you can get my bag and pass it out.
Let's do your question and answer.
Oh, yeah, question and answer. You know, if anybody got any questions, you know what I mean? The fragrance I have is the ocean of love. So you either can pick from love or you can pick the ocean. You know, either way, they good fragrances, you know what I'm saying? I came in the store, the sister was like, you must really like incense. I said, you just don't know what I'm doing, sister. You know, this is for the master too, if you can get it to him. I know he don't like gifts, so I figure he'd sneak him one in. I know somebody got one question.
How long have you been this adept at this? The way you talk like you've been doing it for a while.
Man, I believe I've been running my mouth for, man, eons. Eons, you know what I'm saying? A long time, but I believe that my talking gonna really do me some good, because Sister Nama Sutra, she shared something with me a while back. It was at the time when we left for Radasi Satsang, and I was finna fix her mother's flat tire, and we went through an adventure that day. But she told me that she believed that my voice is going to be able for to reach a lot of the youth, because a lot of us caught up in our worldly life, a lot of times we don't even got time for the talk with the children and stuff like that, and that's what I always make sure that I have time for the talk with the children, because you know, that's why I believe I like for the really talk, because you know I can the type of ability I have, in which I don't want to get egoic about it. You know, I don't want to give my ego no shine. That if I can talk with the Mexicans, the Chinese, the white folks, just anybody, universal. So I just appreciate that gift, and I can't say it's me. You know, it's just that spirit for me that just likes to right. See what I mean? And I just appreciate Master Bhagwan, because he really enables me with the Dharma, so I can really talk about something, because he says the difference between talking and having to talk. So, you know, it gives me a reason to really have something to talk about, rather than just anything. Because a lot of people talking, as we know the world is turning right now, is people communicating all over the planet. But it's what they really saying that means something. See?
David, Karaji in the back. Question in the back.
Your satsang was on love and devotion. Your satsang was on love and devotion. And you've been around the house for, like you said, like a year and a half. Since being initiated from that last retreat, what have you seen that's different in terms of any level of transformation?
I can say, honestly to say, because after that retreat, like I said, as well as a lot of us, we was beat down. I never meditated much more than that. Never up in my life, and it kind of transformed me. And the master title did, going beyond our limitations. And I really feel we all did, and the master made us feel real proud of ourselves. And he really do something like a mother, congratulate you to do a good job. We left there resonating something. And if I can say what a change has been, I have been a more loving father, been a more loving son, a more loving cousin to my family, but I just been a more loving brother. And that's all I can say. And what other more is the path utilized for to transform us, for to be a more loving being? Because it's enough hate in the world. You know, I just don't want to contribute to the hate. You know what I mean? Because if I done seen black men kill each other, if I done seen some of my black friends boast about they murdered another black man, and that really hurt me. But at the time, while I was communicating with them, but I never put them to shame or diss them or talk negative about it. But I have told them that, hey, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. We really got to come straight with each other, though, because it's a lot of self-destruction taking place. You know, it used to be the time when the white man, he used to come out and do the killing himself. Now he just got to sit back and watch. Then just put the trap in our hands, and it's like really with the hip hop, a lot of what the youth I talk to, I just see that as a destructive force now, rather than the way hip hop was initially created as a creative force. So even being on the path, you know, you can take this and use it as a destructive force or creative force. But I can say, like Master Bhagwan say, the highest aspect of love is creativity. If we can somehow utilize what is Dharma, then it's initiation, then it's Nam, as a creative force, we can really change the world. We're not, hold on, let me get it right. We can't change the world, but we can change what the conditions that we live in. Because I found out that when you're in line with Ma'at, no matter where you at, everybody got to fall in line with that. So if I've been noticing that too, that I can be around a vilest, disrespectful person, but when I step on the scene, that just disappeared. See what I mean? But you do got some stubborn type of, I don't want to say assholes, but you do got some people that just, that negative, they just don't want to agree. But, you know, that's just the consequences that they got to undergo, because we all got our own record. And, you know, we all in this prison called Penda, so we trying to get a better record. So I would recommend that we utilize Weather's path and be, you know, more loving and more creative. And like I said, I really enforce that we really try to reach out to the children. Because after we dead and gone, you know, who's going to be here to carry the torch of the House of Ra? Right. And like Joe Bilal shared with me, that he really see the House of Ra after a while, that it's going to be just a religion. But Bilal said that he don't want to see that on his shift. He don't want to see that on his shift. See what I'm saying? And you know, I don't blame him though. But like if anything, you know, we got to get it while we can get it. Because you know, when the light and the door is closed, the door is closed. So that's what inspired me to really get straight real soon, because I really feel as though that we don't really got enough time to get straight.
You're right.
See what I mean? Because the masters, the type of discourses that he giving now, it's just hitting. It's like Cupid, you know, it's just hitting my heart. Then it's like you know, it's turning up in there. And I can say that discomfort feeling, that's what a transformation taking place. Because this ego is not afraid. I found out that this ego is not scared of shit. You know, it'll run you down. Run you straight up in the ground. You know, you will crash, and it's not afraid, and that's what scares me about my ego, that is not afraid. You know, not get tempted for to do something and fall in my negative states of mind. If I'm not on guard and if I'm not strong, I just fall right into it. So, you know, if I can say that, I just wish that I can utilize my initiation a lot better than become a more loving being. That's all I wish for. Yep, as far as seeking, you know, reward off that, I don't seek no reward. Only that someone can be inspired just off of my example. Like I was inspired up off of Master Bhagwan, and we all inspired by it. And we able for to sit, you know, 2.5 hours a day or more. See what I'm saying? So, but I just wish that I can do a lot better with this gift that I've been endowed with. And that's my only wish, because I really want to be free, because I've really been through a lot of suffering up in this lifetime, and you know, I just got enough of it. I'm really tired of suffering. I'm even this content at this point, you know, with reading books, because I was all up into the intellectualism. I got high up off that, coming around a bunch of people, a bunch of older men, and just shut them down off of what I knew. But it's like now, since I've been on the path, I really don't take no pleasure in that no more. You see what I'm saying? Even though I like to talk still, but I don't seek no pleasure in trying to make myself look better than somebody else. Because at that point, if you function up off that, that's just pure ego. That you walk away like you got a sheriff badge on your chest because you didn't put somebody down. And there's people all over the world that's doing that day and night. And people playing games with love day and night. So there's a lot of broken hearts out here and stuff like that. I want to say I got my heart broke many times in this world, and I can say that due to me making contact with the House of Ra, this been enabling me to heal, because you know we really got to heal, because we all, you know, got battered briefcases, and I say our briefcases is lined up on the sidewalk again. It's just another lifetime. It's lined up on the sidewalk again. But what keeping me in check is that whichever road that we take, it's still life. See what I mean? You know, we can't escape this, and we must surrender. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to surrender myself, but it's just so difficult to do that. You know what I mean?
Why is it
By
so
yourself.
difficult?
I can say, you know, without the help of the master, man, you know, I can say it's impossible unless you really been through enough, because most people that haven't been blessed with initiation, they basically got to learn off trial and error. You know, and some people just keep bumping their head and, like you say, just keep doing the same thing over and over again. We really need somebody for the shake.
For you,
Mhm.
what make it so difficult for you, good brother?
My ego, it don't want to change, and like the master shared, in which I wish if I was at the cooler house, that he said we're afraid for to lose our identity. And when he said that, and I was in my bed watching it with popcorn and everything, I even dropped the bowl like, damn, that's some real stuff, He said, what you're afraid of is losing that identity. Like, we all want to be like who we think that we want to be.
Yeah.
But just letting that identity go, we really feel like we just don't got nothing to grab onto. And I believe if we really surrender by ourselves, that's how, I don't even know what it feel like for to completely surrender. But when I sit on my spaceship, I call, my Mac, my mothership, that I really try to get a chance to really let it go. So when we get on our spaceships in the morning, try to just take off and leave all this shit go behind.
Right.
Like the master shared with us, we was at the cooler house there, we got to take all this stuff off, like our jewelry. You take off his watch, you take off his beads. We just got to take this stuff off. Then just rid our mind of our your desires. Because I find out that our desires is what's stopping us. We just caught up in our own desires. Because the mind always wants something. We always want something. And that's the thing I don't understand. But since I've been on the path, I've been working on that. Trying to lessen my wants and stuff. And the Cimarron, it's most effective. Because it keep your mind off of wanting shit. See what I'm saying?
Last question.
You speak a lot on wanting to help our children, wanting to help others. And being that your Satsang was on love and devotion, ultimately the master tell us that, ultimately we got to look out for us first, take care of you first. You get straight first, and everything else will take care of itself. How are you getting you straight?
Well, if I can say back, getting up on my mat every single day, because when I was a pre-initiate, I was very inconsistent with my practice. And I can say every time I miss, I felt guilt. I felt real bad. And I tried to shake it off and stuff, and we had tried to do all type of stuff for the counter that feeling. But since I've been initiated, it's like a change took place in me when I just can't miss. Now, if I can say one thing I'm guilty of, but I'm not as punctual as I want to be. But I can say, goddamn, I got perfect attendance. You know what I'm saying? Perfect attendance. You know what I mean? It make me feel good. You know what I mean? I don't miss no practice. That's one thing I don't. And my boys are trying to get me to do it. You're like, man, Joe, just come kick it with us. I'm like, hell no, I'm finna sit down. I'm finna sit still, man. I can kick it with you later. So like they say, we got to give a master his time first, and then everybody else, you got to make a little time for to get your mind what it wants every once in a while. You know what I mean? So I'm just keeping it real, because like my Raji say, sincerity is a virtue on the path, and since I've been working with my brothers and sisters and my sponsors, I just try to be as sincere as possible. Because we all make mistakes, and ain't none perfect for nobody. Ain't none perfect for nobody. So I just want to leave and say, just do the best that you can. And believe me, in the end, it's all worth it, like Aaliyah say. In the end, it's all worth it. See what I'm saying? And then what better sacrifice can we make for ourselves? Like you did say, we got to do it for ourselves, because it's like on the topic of love, Joe, you can't love nobody else if you don't love yourself. So we really got to work on loving ourselves. A lot of us is messed up that we can't even look our face in the mirror. So, I believe whoever's suffering from that, just meditate in the mirror and look at yourself. And that'll help you to really deal and really come straight with yourself. See what I mean? It's like, we got to stop hiding and playing games, Joe, with ourselves, because like I said at the end, when the chips fall, it's going to fall on us, not Bhagwan. If I can say one thing, it haven't been a subject that Master Bhagwan haven't covered. It's like if I got power, I got a library now, tapes, and I'm like, man, this man talk about everything, and he don't get tired. And that's why I'm like, Master can go too. I can talk, Master can go more than me. I mean, he can go, And I can just say, and one thing that we can say before we really close our eyes, that it haven't been one thing that he didn't discuss with us. So, you know, we basically got where the map, but we got to keep in mind that the map is not the land. You know, he really give us where the map, but he can't give us where the land. That's something we got to work on ourselves. See what I mean? And that's the end of my set.
All right.
Shake them.